Welcome to English Express. Today we're going to talk about passives. We can have a nickname for passives. That's the word backwards. Because why do we want to complicate things? I mean, if we see this picture in the passive voice, we would say the ball was thrown by the kid. Why do we want to say this instead of something which I think is much easier, like the kid threw the ball? Well, because it's in the passive. Let's talk about it. First, what is the passive voice? Okay, in the active voice, if we have this picture, we would say the dog chased the cat. In the active, we have a subject, in that case, this funny dog. Doing an action, it is the subject which does the action, in this case to chase, and the action is received by the object, in this case, this little scared cat. But if we talk about a passive, it would be the cat was chased by the dog. In this case, we have the object at the beginning, again the cat. This object is receiving an action. In this case, it is the same action, chase. And this action is done by the subject, the dog. So what I want to tell you, it is that both in the active and in the passive, in both cases, the picture is the same, but from different perspectives. Very important how to use it. When we want to build a sentence with a passive, we need first of all an object, then the verb in the passive, and then the subject, which is not sometimes required. Okay. By the way, the verb in the passive means that we need the verb to be and a past participle, or if you want, a third column. And yes, the verb to be can be in any tense that we need, depending on if we're talking about the past, the present, the future, etc. For example, we can say the ball was thrown by the kid. The object, the ball, then we have the verb in the past, and now we have a subject at the end, using by. Or the cat is being chased by the dog, in this case in the present continuous. Or a new bridge is going to be built. Now in the future we're going to. And see, there's no subject here. My wallet has been stolen, present perfect. Or the dishes should be washed with a modal. And yes, we are not using a subject here. Later in the video, we will see why. And typical question in my classes, why to use it? And it's true. If we can describe the same action with the active and with the passive, why do we want to complicate things with the passive? Three main reasons. First one, that the doer is not known or unimportant. The doer, the subject of the sentence, the person or thing which is doing the action. For example, the bank was robbed last night. In this sentence, I don't know who robbed the bank, so I can start with the bank, with a passive. Or maybe we want to emphasize the receiver. The receiver, that is the object. So we put it at the very beginning. The new hospital has been opened by the mayor. Are we interested in the mayor? Not in this sentence. In this sentence, we are interested in the new hospital. And third reason, maybe because we want to add formality, we want to be more objective. For example, the solution has to be heated to 100 degrees Celsius. In that case, remember the passives are usually formal. We can use also passives. And also a very typical question is, do I need an active or a passive? Is the sentence an active or a passive? Let's have a look at the two examples. We can say the taxi is following a red car, and the taxi was followed by a red car. They are quite similar, and sometimes we don't know which verb to use, if the active or the passive. Because in this case, for example, the taxi is at the beginning. Well, everything changes depending on the active or the passive. In the first one, the taxi is following. That means it's an active one. So the taxi is doing the action. So we will have a taxi following a red car. But in the second one, the taxi, although it is at the very beginning of the sentence, is not doing the action. So it would be that the red car is following the taxi, or the other way around, the taxi was followed by a red car. See? So remember, if this very first thing is doing the action or receiving the action, that's the active or the passive. Okay, but this is English Express, so we have finished. It is just a short version of a longer video that you can also see on my channel. It is in Spanish, it is longer with more examples, so I will leave you a link here. And as always, remember, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and the most important thing, enjoy your English.